Run us through your expectations for the trading week ahead.
Basically, as you've actually explained how the market was last week, this week, most of us analysts are actually looking at 4 different counters. We're looking at Safaricom, we're looking at Kenya Commercial Bank, we're looking at Barclays Bank, we're looking at Equity, because in essence, these are counters that actually been driving the market, and given how the fundamental factors of economy actually are, we're looking towards these counters to see actually the way forward. And coming from the Safaricom AGM's meeting, whereby it was proposed that Safaricom actually buys back some of its shares to actually consolidate its performance in the market. We're also trying to see whether that will actually be approved or not. We're also trying to see how the central bank's reaction to how the aspect of liquidity in the market is actually going, whether it's going to come in pumping more money, or it's just going to keep holding back.
Let's
so this week, okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Continue.
Basically, the aspect of liquidity and the aspect of what the government is doing, especially in terms of politics, because whether we like it or not, at the end of the day, politics has an effect, especially on foreign investors' interest in our market.
Well, when it comes to foreign investor interest, we've certainly seen them mopping up East African breweries shares, while we've got local investors continuing to sell off following that issuance of a court injunction stopping East African breweries from acquiring Tanzania breweries. Why such different reactions to this share?
What my understanding is, local investors actually have little or no knowledge at all about how the court process works, especially in terms of business issues and business transactions. So, like the case of East African breweries, I mean, for me, if I was an investor, I'll stay put and wait, actually see what will be happening. But you see, I guess many people are looking at for example, what happened at Olympia Capital. You get into a market, you buy it, and then in a year or 2, things actually don't work out, and then you're forced to actually sell. So I guess local investors just worry of what might happen. But you see, for foreign investors, they have the knowledge, they have got the capacity to actually engage financial advisors to be able to tell them actually what's happening in terms of the court process, in terms of how the share is actually performing, and the market strategy for the company, say in the next 1 year. So what the local investors are lacking is in terms of the availability of information which foreign investors have, and that's the advantage that the foreign investors are taking, they're actually using to be able to get into the market through that particular share.
And with that being the case, we've got this awareness of local investors diverting their attention to the bond market specifically. We saw Crown Burger publicly, it's the only publicly traded paint manufacturer in Kenya, say that it's going to plan to sell 300 million shillings worth of bonds to the market. How did the market react to that news?
For the last couple of months, we've seen a couple of companies actually issue their bond, and the last one being CFC Stanbic, which was actually very successful. We've seen the government also bring in a lot of government securities. The interest behind it, especially from the local investors, is that with bond, either market bonds, government securities, that the money is actually safer than the equities. There's little manipulation, there's little fluctuation of the prices in it. So they can actually put in their money, go home and be at peace, and know that after a particular period of time they'll be able to get back the returns. So many local investors don't have any confidence still in the equity market, and many companies, you see, like with what's happening globally in terms of a global recession, many companies are actually having problems with the bottom line, especially with increasing cost production. So the only way for them to raise money is actually to issue bonds, which they know they'll be fully subscribed.